This is the Florida Keys, a chain of islands off the southernmost tip of Florida. The water and ecosystem here is unlike anywhere else in the U.S., and in this water, 3 of the most difficult to catch game fish in the world call it home: tarpon, bonefish, and permit. I have roughly 60 hours to try to catch all 3, the Florida Keys Grand Slam as they call it. There will be no guides. I'll only be joined by my best friend Jacob, and we're fishing in a location neither of us have ever fished. Oh, and I'm only going to use a fly rod. We have our work cut out for us. It is 7:20 right now. Just put both the kids to bed, said goodbye to my wife, packed up the car. It's time to head to the Keys. Got about a 4-hour drive in front of me, and we're going to have 3 very, very long, hard days of fishing, and we're going to see if we can accomplish something great while we're down there. The blessing to go to the Keys is beautiful. We're going to see if we can make the most of it. There was something surreal about driving to the Keys in the dark. Normally you drive over bridge after bridge, welcomed by expanses of blue water and vivid flats. Last night I never even laid my eyes on the water. The only sights to see were the lights of buildings and glowing signs. It felt like I had been teleported into a different world through the night. Out of all 3 of these fish species, I'm the most comfortable with tarpon. I've caught a ton of smaller ones, but never any big ones really. But I understand their behavior, and I know where they're most likely to hang out. Now, bonefish, I've caught probably under 10 of them, but never one on the fly rod. I feel fairly confident in getting on a bonefish though. It'll be tough, but I think we can do it. And permit, well, truthfully, permit scare the hell out of me. I've never caught one, and I've only ever even seen maybe 6 or 7 in my entire life. It is finally time to start out here. It is very stormy, very overcast. I think we'll be okay. So we're not gonna be able to see super well right now. So Jacob's gonna hop up front in the trolling motor and blind cast for tarpon. I'm gonna stand on the back with the fly rod in hand. You know, today is really gonna be a lot of scouting and seeing if we can dial in these fish and find out where they're hiding. Oh, giant tarpon right there, Jacob. I have a 20-pound leader on. I probably stand no chance to keep one of these fish hooked. Those are 60-pounders probably. I'm sure they'll eat though, because I have 20-pound leader on. Oh my gosh, right there, literally. You see him? Yeah. He just ate my freaking crab. He just ate my crab, Jacob. Oh my god. No way. He just ate my fly. No way. That was my first cast of the entire trip. You're gonna turn the outboard on? Oh my gosh. Are you trying to get the bigger so it's flat out? I don't know. He's wrapped around something. Here, I'm gonna hop down. Maybe let's just have you grab camera. Dude, this is my first cast of the entire trip. Second. I only have 20-pound leader on. He must be hooked really well. Jacob and I pulled up on this island that we looked at Google Maps and we're like, that looks really good. And I was just rigging up a fly for bonefish and permit. I have 20-pound fluoro on the end of this thing and a little crab fly. And we just cut the outboard off and we're pulling up around a corner and 2 or 3 really big tarpon rolled. He's coming right at me. Oh. Oh. Dude. I'm so stoked right now because that was my second cast. Go film Cole to film him. That's so funny. So our buddy whose house we're staying at, he's renting a house, and our friend Cole is out on a kayak 100 yards behind us basically. Because I think what's going to be important here is because the 20-pound is to kind of like wear them out with the boat a little bit. It's not a giant one, but I basically set the goal in my head of I want to catch a tarpon, a bonefish, and a permit, and we have about 50 hours to do so, maybe 70 hours to do so. And I told Jacob that my goal is for it to be above a 30-pound tarpon. That would be like count to me, because I know we can go and really whack on a bunch of little tarpon around here in the Keys, and this one might fit the bill for basically the exact size I was trying to get into. That's unfreaking believable. I'm gonna come over top of you, you're good. I can't believe it happened this quick. I don't know if that's a bad sign or a really good sign. Rod tip in the water. He's just came up and gulped air on me right there. We got to be patient with this light leader, but that's why this fish ate, is because we have light leader on. I really think so. Cole, shout out Cole. Dude, we'll have to give Cole. We'll give Cole. Let him come and give him the. Oh! It's unbelievable how strong this fish still is. 10, 15 minutes later. We have been fighting this fish for about 13 minutes now. It's time to kind of get him in. We pulled over to where it's a little shallower so I can try to hop in with this fish, because he's right at the cusp of like, probably don't want to bring a fish this size in. And we have a big old thunderstorm bearing down on us here. So we're gonna have to try to see if we can put the ropes to him and then let her go. I told Jacob, just run camera and I'll go for a solo land. If we lose her, so be. It's kind of the fun of filming and doing all this stuff. Let's see how deep this is. Pockets are empty. I'm gonna get headbutted in the nuts by a tarpon here in a second. I might jump back in because I'm getting stuck in the mud. It's too muddy. This all of a sudden turned from like really fun to not that fun anymore, as we have a lightning storm bearing down on us, and we're really pushing our luck with this fish. That's not even like a giant, but be very happy to catch a tarpon this size, that's for sure.
Especially for the size tackle.
I just can't horse them very.
I thought that was it.
You thought he was gone there?
Yeah.
Don't you speak that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Dude, I do not like holding a 10-foot lightning rod in my hands on them. If I didn't have 20, I would already have this fish in the boat. Like,
No, take your time, take your time.
oh, it's just a storm I'm worried about now. Turn this way. Come on. That is nuts. Who is this fish?
How does this fish have this much energy still?
He's wrapped up. Turned him right there. Dude, this is unbelievable. It's gonna be one of these fish, he's like, I don't know, bigger than I think he is. Like, I don't. Dude, he's just gulping air on me over and over again. It's gonna bury his head. I cannot believe how freaking strong this tarpon is. Come here. I'm putting so much pressure on this fish now. Yeah, yeah, we'll give Cole an holy crap. God, everyone get low. What's that? It's all of a sudden is becoming less fun. I don't really know where he is right now, to be honest, Jacob. He's right there against this head. So you're good. Come up behind him. He's trying to get in. Turn. Ah. Ugh. Come to me, baby. He is bigger than I thought.
He's not bad.
Ah! Oh, almost had him. He is so thick. I had both hands in him. I couldn't. Woo! Finally! Good Lord, that was a nightmare. The thunder is rolling in. We got her. We got her. Look at that crab right there in the corner. Oh, you beautiful girl. This is the biggest tarpon I think I've ever caught in artificial, for sure. I haven't caught a ton of big, giant ones. Just like that.
That came out weird to me.
I know. Ah. 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 Holy thunder. I bet this fish, what do you think? 45 pounds probably, maybe.
That's a nice tarpon.
Maybe even close to 50. He's a lot bigger than I thought he was, which makes sense. He was such a thick fish. It's not necessarily easy right now. Yeah, now. All right, we're gonna send it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. The second cast of the trip. About a 45, 50 pound tarpon. Tarpon is checked off the list. We're definitely gonna try to catch some more while we're here. There's no reason not to try to catch some big tarpon while we're in the Keys, and maybe we'll even catch a bigger one. Now, 2 hours in on our first morning, tarpon's off the list, bonefish and permit are our next targets. Or maybe some more big tarpon, because that was very, very fun. We got a little rained on.
We're a little wet.
Having been forced off the water, it was time to capitalize on the second best part of the Keys, the food. There's a ton of standard fish houses in the Keys, but my favorite food to get down here is always some type of Caribbean or Latin food. A lot of it down here has been influenced by different Caribbean and Latin cultures due to the proximity of the nearby islands. And most of the time, these small joints are the best food you'll find down here. This tackle shop is a labor of love. Every square inch covered in fly fishing gear and fly fishing history. It was incredible to go see a place dedicated to one singular craft. While there, we talked to the Englishman running the store and got some advice on flies for the days ahead, but we still had some time to kill while we waited for the rain to pass.
Dude, this is like...
Oh, don't hit those knobs, by the way.
Don't hit the knobs.
Good luck. Different characters? Have anything different?
Oh my god.
About 6.5, 7 hours after landing that tarpon, getting rained on,
Jacob and I went and visited a fly shop, we got lunch, and finally the rain has started to pass. We still have a little bit of storms out here in the distance, but behind us we got some clear skies. It's dead low right now and about to flip over and start coming in, and that is bone fishing permit time. The afternoon couldn't have played out any more different than the morning. We ran all over God's blue earth looking for fish, but had nothing to show except the occasional barracuda and snapper. Morning 2. Very tired. Yesterday was a long day. Probably went to sleep at 12 o'clock last night. Got up at 6. It's time to rip on them.
All right, I'm on the pole. Jacob's on the deck. Sun is rising. We don't really know what we're doing, but we're trying to make it happen. Oh. Another one out there. There's a lot of tarpon right here, Jacob. Oh! Oh my goodness! That cuda or another tarpon? Another one right there. Okay, I might have to put the camera down. Throw right there to your right. He was going to the right though, so aim a little right. That's a great cast. That is a great cast. Oh, look at him.
We spent the morning goofing around with small tarpon. The area we were in looked incredible, but we never saw a bone or a permit. It was time to make a move. This is what makes the Keys special. There are no inlets and rivers guarding the shallows down here. The tide brings water straight from the ocean and pours it across the flats, with small channels carrying the water in and out across the flats like veins and arteries pushing blood through your body. And where these channels and flats meet is typically where you find life.
There's 3 of them, I'm pretty sure. They're coming towards us right now. They're right here next to the boat, too. Oh. I like. There's some big ones out here to the left. I'm gonna try to chase those. Fly fishing's a nightmare. Nightmares, nightmares, nightmares. Yeah, a couple of real big ones here. The Cudas spooked them. Oh my gosh, come on. We're gonna catch these ones right here, man. They're chasing it. They're spinning around so fast. Yeah, he did, didn't he? Got him! Bone on! Oh my gosh! Dude, they're all just swirling around the boat right now. Oh my gosh, he's coming at the boat. Oh. We got a lemon shark here. Crap. Purposely trying to scare him. Jacob and I have been grinding. Oh, we got a shark that's trying to come up here and eat my bonefish. Jacob and I have been grinding for 5-6 hours. Throw it at 40 bonefish, 50 bonefish, and finally those ones were swirling like a little tornado around the boat eating, and I was actually stripping that fly and he ate it in the middle of the water column, not off the bottom. Look at that. All right, let's do it. Let's just pull up to the mangroves and I'll hop in. I'll punch that lemon shark in the face if he comes near me. Oh my gosh, it's so deep. Help me. I just lost my sandals for sure. They're gone. I thought it's like I took clear the waters. I thought it was like 2 feet deep and it's like literally over chest high. Okay, we're not getting in. He's actually bigger than I thought he was, dude. Like I thought he was little, but he's a good one. So bonefish, you know what? You gotta treat them right. We're gonna wet our hands. That's actually way bigger than I thought he was. Oh, bonefish on the fly. We got our 50-pound tarpon. We got our bonefish on the fly now. Unbelievable. We're working our tails off and it finally happened. Okay, I'm just gonna hold him for a second. Right in the corner of the mouth. He was way bigger than I thought he was, dude. Like when he took off running, I'm like, dang, dude, bonefish are just crazy. I'm like, oh, this is actually like a 3-4 pound bone. All right. Make sure we get a really good release on this fella. Dude, it is 1 in the afternoon on our second day, and we got our bonefish. We're 2/3 of the way there. I can't believe it happened. It felt so defeating. Jacob and I were talking about like, man, let's just go get lunch and get off the water and give ourselves a mental break because, I mean, we've been throwing at them all day and struggling to catch them. And I told Jacob, I'm like, let's just put the trolling motor in the water, take a break from poling because it's so freaking hot. And what, probably 5 minutes? If even?
Literally, like, we had just started that lemon shark, but he doesn't. The bonefish is already gone. Get wrecked, idiot.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's stick he might go towards the bonefish.
He just wrapped in my freaking line. He definitely caught my line for a second. Jacob, thank you, brother.
It's freaking go.
Oh.
We've been at it for 7 hours.
I missed it. All right. We got one of my sandals. Jacob was basically making fun of me. That's like, basically I've only caught 2 fish this trip, and each one I've tried to leap in the water to be cool, and like, that's the thing, like you respect them, you keep them in the water, you keep them dry, and each one I've sunken tits deep in the water and had to climb back out. So we do catch a permit. I don't think I'm gonna get in the water with the permit.
I see him right there. Coming up behind the boat. 2 of them.
Eat it, eat it.
Oh, one's fire.
Oh, boy, I missed him. Dude, he swung at it like a freaking Jack Crevalle. Dude, I thought bonefish were like, dude, what are they doing? They're going sicko mode. Oh, don't do that. Oh, whole school of them coming in. It's good timing. Dude, these things are acting like freaking redfish. I thought bonefish were.
What is going on? Right to the left. Cool.
Where?
Right to your left.
How far?
You'll see him.
I don't. Oh yes, like literally right next to me. Yeah. What a finesse. Come on. Oh! Let's go. Jacob, eyes like a hawk. Oh! Jacob spotted him. Double. Dude, the fly provides. Oh!
Are they following him?
Yeah, I mean, you can try. I don't know if they'll do that, but go for it. I mean, there's a storm of them. They're right here. They're right here. No, I don't care. This is the second one, so go for it. They're literally like all around the boat right here. Yeah, they're swimming all right there too. They might be spooked now. Oh man. Another bone. Another bone. Dude, this is a beautiful fish.
Let's go.
Dude, good eye, Jacob. Another beautiful bonefish. Huge shout out to Jacob for the spot on them. They were swimming like 10 feet from the boat and I just couldn't even see them. And he's like, you'll see them. I'm like, I don't. Oh, man, we figured it out. I don't know if it's the fly, if it's just the way it's moving, if it's the tide shift, if it's a little bit of everything, but it feels so unbelievably rewarding to spend 7 hours trying to catch one and just failing over and over and over again. And this second one, this probably comes, what, 20 minutes after that last one? Feels like we figured something out, man, and it is a huge blessing. I want to land this fish and hopefully get Jacob on one now. Little gray torpedo. Definitely being less careful with this one now that I already landed the second one, but beauty. Yeah, man, really good fish. I've always heard if you turn them upside down, they go like completely docile. Another beautiful, beautiful Keys bonefish right there. Okay, he's swimming out, good. You know what's fun about this? The 10 weight is a little overkill for the bonefish, but I only brought one fly rod and it's a 10 weight because I knew it would be appropriate for catching tarpon, appropriate for catching permit. And if we hooked a really, really big bonefish, it would be good. But instead we're catching, 3-4 pounders and you're not wearing them out. And that's a big thing with bonefish is basically over tiring them by playing them out for, 10 minutes and they die when you release them with that fish. I was trying to unhook them, flipped in, and just swam right off really healthy. So it's good. Would have liked to get a better release, but it's okay. 2 bonefish. I think I might put the fly rod down and see if we can really work on getting Jacob on one because they're here and they're eating. And then we're gonna go somewhere else and we'll go eat too. Everybody's eating. So here's the situation. Tarpon checked off. 2 bonefish checked off. Permit. Permit is the one that I am the most intimidated by. I've never caught a permit my entire life. I've maybe seen 2 ever. Don't really know what to do for a permit, but we're out here and we're gonna look for them. Jacob and I tried to take a break and go grab some lunch to kind of energize because we've been out all day yesterday, all morning today, and this morning we basically just eaten like a bag of cashews and some chips. And every restaurant that's on the water around the Keys that we're staying on are closed because it's like summer hours or whatever. So we're just persevering and we're pushing through, and we're gonna look for termites.
Termites.
So tired.
Looking for termites.
So tired.
We've only been at it for 10 hours.
Yeah, we're looking for tarpon and permitas. And hopefully we run into one of them. I think we'll run into some tarpon, but fingers crossed we run into a permit. Scared him. Come on up. Blind cast, or did you see him?
Blind.
Oh, just watch him on the foot. Watch him. Is he on it?
I don't think so, but you can bring it up.
Do you want me to go for a landing on him?
I'll see if I can get him.
I can do it if you want. If you just want to make sure we get him and you can keep him tight. Jacob, that's a big one. Yeah.
That's a nice bonefish.
We got him! Oh, finally! Woo! 3 bones on the day, baby. We are basically cruising down our last stretch of flat for the evening, and then we're gonna go back in and get dinner with all of Jacob's family and stuff like that. It's tough, man. You know what? I knew in my head already that I think the permit's gonna be the biggest task, because I just know the least amount of them and understand the least amount of them. And really all we can do is look at areas that, you know, logically make sense that a permit might come to. We're on an outer barrier island with a really nice flat. So a permit could come off from the channels behind us. They could come from the wrecks offshore and come up onto this flat. And truly, all we can do is put ourselves in the right position and hope we end up running into one and be prepared. Just right place, and hopefully the right time comes upon us. But we're gonna cruise down this flat and maybe we'll run into one. Let's see. And then if not, at least we get to go get some good dinner tonight in the Keys. I see a bonefish right here. Holy cow. Keep filming. Like a big bonefish. That is so crazy. I don't see him right now, but he's literally like somewhere right here. I'm literally sitting there, I look down and I see a couple mohara swimming around. I don't think there's no way that's him. No, it's like a little cuda. There's literally like probably like a 3-pound bonefish sitting right there when I looked up from talking to Jacob. Holy cow. It's a good sign. All right, well, let's deal with Perkitis here and maybe we'll find a bone or a permit.
Oh, so cool.
Shut up.
Look behind you.
What's wrong? Look behind you.
Look at him.
Give him
What are you doing, dude? No, don't give him something and he won't leave.
Kale, give him a fork. He's like, you got anything?
He's like, you would
You're gonna get me in trouble.
Oh, sorry.
You're gonna get me in trouble.
Run, run, run!
Run, little guy, run!
Jacob, one more trip around the block for me. How you feeling this morning?
Weak.
So tired.
Pretty dang tired.
It is my last morning here. I only have half a day. Probably gonna need to get off the water around 11 or 12 and head back home to get to see the family. We've been putting in long days, man. 2 days in a row of basically 14-hour days of getting up before 6 and being out in the water till basically 8:30, going to eat dinner at 9, getting in bed 10, not even, getting in bed at like 12 o'clock at night, and getting up and doing it again. And we got one more trip around the Keys today. We're looking for a permit. And I look like a psycho because we drive by someone and I'm talking to a camera in front of a boat.
Six hours left on the clock. We haven't even seen a permit yet, let alone catch one, and unfortunately, well, I never did. We spent the entire morning locked in on some flats near an outer barrier island looking for permit, but they never showed. Turns out, this time of year is their peak spawning season and almost every single permit stays offshore on wrecks to breed. With a few hours left, we swung into a marina for some gas and picked up one of Jacob's brothers to hop on the boat.
Hi, Caleb.
We saw a handful of bones that morning, but never connected with one. And the only
You like to
really
eat the
interesting
shrimp?
thing that happened the entire day was an encounter with a lemon shark.
Oh, he ate it. I didn't actually think he was gonna eat it. All right, I just sight casted a lemon shark with a shrimp fly. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's like a 40-ton shark, isn't it? Oh, cormorant, watch out. I was gonna... Yeah, I might need to chase that, bro. Thank gosh. I can't believe that thing just, I mean, I know that's what lemon sharks eat, crabs and shrimp and stuff like that, but I didn't think he would like literally perfectly hunt down that little shrimp. Tell you what, that was a real good initial first run, and I think okay, he's broke off, all right. We got about 5-10 minutes before we really need to go, but basically committing sacrilege here. I'm throwing a fly rod with a crab fly underneath the bridge to see if we can hook up to a giant permit or tarpon. Just it's a kind of a buzzard beater here, and just our last ditch effort. It almost feels like you didn't do a proper trip to the Keys if you didn't stop and try to fish on a bridge for a second. So I got the fly on that I caught my tarpon on the first day that absolutely scarfed it. This looks like a little crab that floats. And so we're gonna try it for a minute here, and then we'll have to roll out of town.
60 hours came and went, and it was time to head back home to see my family. I came up short, not able to catch a permit, but that doesn't mean the trip was a failure. 2.5 days of non-stop fishing down the Keys with my dear friend and a solid tarpon and my first 2 bonefish on the fly. Doesn't get much better than that. And all this means is that I'll have to come back soon for revenge on the permit.